Today we're going to learn how to make 3D paper forms. First form we're going to create is called a rectangular prism. You're going to need a strip of paper, and you're going to take that paper and fold it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Then you'll trim off the extra. When you open your paper, you should have 5 sections. You'll overlap the two ends, putting glue in between. Hold it for 20 seconds to dry, and then you have a rectangular prism. Next, we're going to make a triangular prism. How many sides does a triangle have? 3 sides, so we fold it 1, 2, 3 times, cut off the extra, unfold it to show our 4 pieces. We will glue and overlap the ends just like we did on the rectangular prism and hold it until it dries. Next, we're going to do a cylinder. You'll need another strip of paper, and instead of folding, you're going to roll your paper this time. Cut off the extra, put a few dots of glue on the end, and you might have to hold it a little bit longer this time for it to dry. Our last 3D form is a cone. To create a cone, you need to cut a square of paper first, cut that square into a circle. Then you're going to make it look like a Pac-Man by cutting a piece of pie out of one side. See how the two ends overlap to create a cone? Put your glue on, overlap the ends, and hold it until it dries. That's how you make a cone, a cylinder, a triangular prism, and a rectangular prism. Next, I'd like to show you how to create some other challenging 3D forms. First one is a pyramid. To create a pyramid, we're going to start by creating a cone shape first. Cutting a circle, cutting a piece of pie out of the side to make a Pac-Man shape, and then overlapping and gluing the two edges. Once I've created a cone, I'm going to hold it for a few seconds to let the glue dry. Then I'm actually going to fold my cone flat in one direction, open it up, fold it in the other direction. Now, when I trim off the edges on the bottom, it's going to create a pyramid with 4 sides. Next, we're going to make a cube by starting with a rectangular prism. To make the rectangular prism, fold the paper 4 times over itself, open it to find 5 sections. You're going to glue the two ends overlapping each other and hold it until it dries. To create the cube, you will then use scissors to snip down the edges of the rectangular prism to make flaps like a box. When you have these flaps, you can then glue them folded in on top of each other. You'll need to put glue on all of the flaps and hold them in order to make that end surface of the cube. You're going to do the same thing on the other side of the rectangular prism. Make the flaps for the box, glue them inside on top of each other, and hold it for about 20 seconds while the glue dries. The last form we're going to create is a sphere. You can't get an exact sphere using paper, but you can create something that's sort of like a sphere using long, skinny strips of paper. So you're going to cut your strips, measure them to about the size that you need, and you're going to make a loop with your first strip. You're then going to create more loops, attaching them onto each other and wrapping them around to create something like a sphere. This is a challenging form to create out of paper, and you have to be patient and let the glue dry each time you put a new strip on. But every time you put another strip of paper on your sphere, it looks more round. On this one, it was pretty small, so I only used 4 strips of paper that went all the way around the sphere. If you make one that's larger, you might need more strips. But you can see how it kind of looks similar to a sphere. So you can create a pyramid from a cone, you can create a cube from a rectangular prism, and you can create a sphere from strips of paper.